and industry.
Yeah,
In there, yeah.
of course. And debut,
Debut. Mm, mm, a Titanic movie is a debut of Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, of
Yeah.
course, of course. So you're talking about. So the first, okay, debut means the first performance, okay, public performance. So
Yes.
especially you can talk about musicians or maybe singers.
Yes.
Well,
Mm,
versatile.
yeah. Ngô Thanh Vấn is versatile. Is versatile.
Versatile. Versatile.
Versatile.
Yeah,
Versatile.
versatile. Yeah.
Ngô Thanh Vấn is versatile singer in Vietnam. She can she is singer and she also actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And claim to fame.
Mm, after successful first video, sing a song of Hai Tuấn, he he is claimed to fame and become popular in Vietnam.
Okay, so his claim to fame was, for example, maybe, okay, so can be. But if I were you, I would say, for
Mm.
example, I consider someone in my mind and say, I'm going to talk about Taylor Swift, for example. I think Taylor Swift is an A-lister singer in music industry in the US. And I remember, her debut was in 2006. And I think this girl is a really versatile performer because she can write songs and she can dance, she can sing. And I think her claim to fame is for her first album.
Yeah.
Ah, so something like this. So you can make a whole about someone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree, but I find it hard to express.
Of
It's hard
course,
to
it's
express
hard.
myself. Yeah.
Of course, you're right. It's too hard to, but I want to say that you can do it. But the step, for example, next session, try to make two sentences together. After that, three sentences. So step by step, not, once you make a whole, of course, it can be really challenging, difficult. But for example, this session, sentences are separated. Next session, two sentences actually can join. And after that, three, you can add, and then you see that you could make it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Okay, we have an idiom. Stealing the show means attract the most attention or to be the center of attention. For example, you can say, yesterday I watched a football actually match, and I think Lionel Messi really stole the show. It means, attracted the most attention. He was the center of attention. Everyone, something like concentrated on him. Okay, so stole the show. Of course, this verb can be used in different tenses. Still, stole. Okay, so will, still. So no matter. It means to be center of attention.
Yeah.
Well, and today's structure. Well, let's talk about second conditional. Okay. So as you know, in English, we have different conditionals, zeros, first, second, and third conditionals. Today, we're going to talk about second conditional that can be used to state an imaginary or hypothetical situation. It means something in the past, okay, that actually didn't happen. It's something imaginary, okay, but it's impossible to happen. Something that impossible. I only think about it. Okay, so we use second conditional to state an imaginary, okay, or hypothetical situation. Okay, hypothetical or imaginary. It means it's not real. And we're discussing past tense. Okay, so let me give you the structure. That is really easy. In actually conditional statement and sentences, we have two parts, two sections. First clause and second. Okay, the first clause or if clause should be followed by past simple. For example, if I could win the lottery, and second clause, okay, is would clause. I would, for example, buy a new house. Okay, this is something in my mind. It's something like impossible because there was no lottery. I didn't win the lottery, so it's something in the past. Okay, if I could win the lottery, I would buy. As you can see, the first clause or if clause is in simple past. So if I could win. And if I won, so you can say if I won the lottery instead of could win, if I won, because I want to show you that the verb should be in past tense, past simple. And after that, if I won the lottery, comma, that's really important to separate two clauses, okay? And then again, subject plus would and base form of verb. Would plus base. Okay, so if I won the lottery, I would buy a new house. And you can also use this conditional in order to talk about your regrets. So something that, you regret about. So why? Something that didn't happen, or something, something that it was really good to happen in the past, but it didn't happen. So you can talk about to express your regrets while using this condition. Okay, well, there is something, a point maybe that it's better to pay attention. When you use if, okay, and you want to use be, You know that we use was for I. We say I was, or we say she was. Okay, we say he was. But when we have if, and we're gonna make a sentence or make a clause using if, it's better I don't say that, this is a rule that you have to follow. No, it's better to say if I were. If I were, if she were, not if she was. If she were, or if he were, if it were, okay? So instead of was, after if, you can use were. So that is really easy. And if you want to make question, that's really easy. It's better to make changes on the second clause, okay? It means you can replace. So I say, if you won the lottery, what would you do? Or would you buy a new house? So we normally, to make question, we normally make changes on the second part or second clause. So I say, if you won, for example, the lottery, what would you do? So I'm making a WH question. What would you do? And you say, I would buy a new house, or you can use abbreviation, that is I'd buy. Okay, so this is about second conditional. And of course you can make it negative. So I wouldn't. So I wouldn't, but so I want to say that it's better to make all changes in the second part, not first. First is something like fixed clause. Okay, just an affirmative clause that you don't need to make any changes on it. Well, now so let's make some sentences. Look, about the first one, let's use the structure, okay, in order to change these sentences. I don't understand what Taylor Swift said at the word because I can't listen English well. Okay, now say it's something that, I regret because, I can't listen English well. Okay, I can't understand. So let's make it.
If I could if I could listen English well, I would understand what Taylor Swift said at the Edwards.
Very good. And let me say something about this comma because before I forget it, okay? About this comma, okay, as you know, I separated two parts of my sentence using a comma. But if you replace the second part and the first part, you don't need to put comma. For example, if you say, I would buy a new house if I could win the lottery or if I won the lottery. So you don't need to put comma if you replace two clauses because you can do it. You can put would at the beginning and if at the second, so it's okay. But when you do this, you remove comma, okay? So it's something related to writing. The speaking, of course, we don't mention it. Well, keep going. Number 2.
I can buy the ticket to the concert of Samsung MTP if I had enough money.
Yeah, if I had.
have enough money.
Okay, I would buy. Yeah, of course, I would buy or I could buy. You can use, would and could. It's something like will and can. For example,
Yeah.
first conditional, you can use will and can. And for second is also possible to use could instead of would. So it's okay. Sometimes you can use it. Okay. But for example, you can say, if I could buy the ticket, I would go to the concert of
Mm.
MTP. Okay, if I could buy. Number 3, I can't go to the premiere of Matt Big tonight. I missed a chance to see the cast in real life.
Mm.
Now you can make a negative. If I couldn't,
Mm.
if I couldn't go to the premiere of Matt Big tonight, I would miss the chance to see the cast in real life. So if I couldn't, of course, as I told you, you can make negative statement. That is
Mm.
really easy. You only need to add not to actually could or would. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you have did, because this is past tense, past simple, so you can use auxiliary did.
Mm.
Okay, it means, for example, if I didn't go to the premiere of Matt Big, I would miss. So it's
Mm.
something like this. And number 4, my dream is to be a singer, but unfortunately, I don't sing beautifully.
Mm. I don't know.
So,
Yeah. I I I would I would be a singer. I would be I I would be a singer if I were good beautiful if I were good beautiful at all.
okay, so you can say, if I could sing beautifully, I would be a singer. So
Mm.
if I, for example, you can say, you can use the past form. If I sang beautifully, I
Mm.
would be a singer. So you can use both of them. So past simple. So the first, okay, use this because this is the condition that
Mm.
you need to have if something, okay, can happen. So it means that when we talk about, when it comes to actually conditionals, it means that we
Mm.
need to have conditions, then something will happen. Or we needed, maybe in the past for a second, we needed to have a condition so that something happened in the past, but it didn't happen. So we are talking about situation. So this is, okay, if I sang beautifully, I would be a singer. But of course, I don't sing. This is something that is
Mm.
not true or possible. Well, do you have any questions?
No, no,
Okay,
uh, no, I
very
don't.
good. let's keep going with audio section. Okay, this is a listening section. Listen to 8 people answering the last question and put the number of speaker next to the thing they mentioned. So let me start sharing the audio.
Unit 12. Recording 2. 1.
If I could be famous for anything, it would be art. I love painting, and if I had more time, I would love to paint seriously. If I could have a painting in a museum, I'd be really happy.
2.
I'd be a famous politician. If I was a politician, I would try to change the world, to stop all these wars and do something to help poor countries. You know, I think it's terrible how most politicians don't seem to worry about things like that.
3.
If I could do anything, I think I'd be a famous footballer or something like that. Imagine if you scored a goal for your country in the World Cup. That would be such a good feeling. You'd remember something like that forever.
4.
I'd love to sing. If I could be famous for anything, I think I'd be a singer. Or a dancer. I'd love to be a famous dancer. I'm terrible at both of those things. I can't sing or dance. I guess that's why we have dreams, isn't it?
5.
I would love to be a famous writer or poet, like Shakespeare. I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to write a book that people all around the world want to read. To be able to speak to people in that way. Yes, I'd like to be remembered as a great writer. But I don't think that'll happen.
6.
If I could be famous for anything, well, let me see. Oh, for being beautiful. That would be good. One of those beautiful actresses who wins at the Oscars. If I was famous, I would be rich, live in a big house, and have all those clothes. Oh, yes, that would be nice.
7.
If I could be famous for anything, it would be for inventing something like a medicine or a cure for cancer. Not for being an actor or a musician. If I invented something that made people's lives better, that would be good.
8.
What would I want to be famous for? I wouldn't like to be famous. If I was famous, I wouldn't be happy. No, I prefer just being me, thank you.
Well, the first one.
First one is artist, an artist.
Of course, an artist. Very good. And second one?
Politician.
A politician, of course. And third one?
A footballer.
Of course. And after that?
Singer.
Very good. Next?
Writer.
Writer, of course. And?
Successful in business.
Successful in business. And after that? I heard a model after that. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not clear, but I think it's may
I think a model, of course, I think a model. So I think the last person talked about, you know, success in business. So, and after that?
The six is a model.
Model, of course. Of course, we will listen again. So no matter, because, you know, I didn't number them, so it's okay. But so, but I think it was model. And after that, I heard, I think this one, I'm not sure, but I think, you know, this one. And after that, I think the last one, this one, but about musician, I don't remember when I heard. Okay, so now we're going to listen again Okay, this part is important, and fill in the blanks. So let's listen and complete the sentences. Okay, let me play it again.
Unit 12. Recording 2. 1.
If I could be famous for anything, it would be art. I love painting, and if I had more time, I would love to paint seriously. If I could have a painting in a museum, I'd be really happy.
2.
I'd be a famous politician. If I was a politician, I would try to change the world, to stop all these wars and do something to help poor countries. You know, I think it's terrible how most politicians don't seem to worry about things like that.
3.
If I could do anything, I think I'd be a famous footballer or something like that. Imagine if you scored a goal for your country in the World Cup. That would be such a good feeling. You'd remember something like that forever.
4.
I'd love to sing. If I could be famous for anything, I think I'd be a singer. Or a dancer. I'd love to be a famous dancer. I'm terrible at both of those things. I can't sing or dance. I guess that's why we have dreams, isn't it?
5.
I would love to be a famous writer or poet like Shakespeare. I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to write a book that people all around the world want to read. To be able to speak to people in that way. Yes, I'd like to be remembered as a great writer. But I don't think that'll happen.
6.
If I could be famous for anything, well, let me see. Oh, for being beautiful. That would be good. One of those beautiful actresses who wins at the Oscars. If I was famous, I would be rich, live in a big house, and have all those clothes. Oh, yes, that would be nice.
7.
If I could be famous for anything, it would be for inventing something like a medicine or a cure for cancer. Not for being an actor or a musician. If I invented something that made people's lives better, that would be good.
8.
What would I want to be famous for? I wouldn't like to be famous. If I was famous, I wouldn't be happy. No, I prefer just being me, thank you.
Well, okay, number 1.
Time.
Very good. Number 2.
Museum.
Okay, and number 3.
Change.
Very good. Number 4.
Food.
Word, of course,
Word.
and yeah, Word Cup. Okay, and number 5.
Sing.
Very good. 6.
Writer.
Okay, 7.
Rich.
Rich, of course. 8.
Life.
Lives, of course. People lives, of course, better. And 9.
Happy.
Very good. Great job. Thank you. Okay, well, so that's it. Just let's talk about this one, and after that, of course, we close this. Okay, just would you talk about pros and cons of being a celebrity? Briefly, say just if it has pros and cons. It means advantage, disadvantage. So pros, advantage, and cons, disadvantage. So pros and cons. You can use these phrases, statements here.
Yeah, I think I don't have any pros, but I am a introvert person, so I think it is con, and I don't think I will be a I don't think I should to be a famous people.
So you think, you should be, after should, we don't use to. Okay, so you think there is no advantage when
Yeah.
you are famous or you are celebrity. Of course, you don't have any advantage, so you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, of course, it's something related to your mind, your opinion. So maybe,
Yeah.
of course, but yeah. Well, okay. So, well, do you agree that many people recently have become celebrities? It means, especially uh, via something like Instagram, Twitter, they became celebrities. So do you agree it's really easy to be celebrity nowadays?
Yeah, I think I in some case I agree, but I think they only become famous in a short time, and after that, no one
Yeah.
know them. Yeah, because they are not have a core value to for community. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's not long-term value.
Of course, of course. Well, just may I ask you to do something because time is over and I need to start another, actually something else, another class. So may I ask you to do something? Well, may I ask you to write your answer for this part? What do you think about the impacts of celebrities on young people nowadays? Okay, may I ask you to answer this question and send your answer to me?
Mm, yeah, I think they influence on 10 body image.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
and
But
young,
I want you to write your answers completely,
yeah,
completely and send your answer to me because it's really important to make a whole. And so
yeah,
I want to maybe one paragraph. That's enough
yeah,
to write about one paragraph and then send it to me. Can you?
yeah.
Yeah. So do
Mm,
you have time to do it?
sorry.
Do you have time to do it?
Mm, yeah, I think time's up, and I have to move to a meeting for now. So
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, of course.
yeah,
I ask you, I know because of this, I asked you to write your answer this question and send it to me, later. Okay? This is your home task. Okay?
yeah,
So
yeah.
answer
I
this
will check.
question and
Yeah, I will check and write and send to me.
yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, send me. Thank you. Okay, time over and thank you. It was great time and
yeah,
have a great week and see you next session at the same time.
yeah. Thank you, and see you on next time.
Bye. Of
Bye.
course, goodbye.